And welcome to the Daily Space Weather. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. Thanks for tuning in, YouTube viewers. We appreciate your viewing the content despite the pathetic censorship and promotion of nonsense, fraud, propaganda, fear-mongering, and a bunch of crap on the platform. I know it's pathetic. Eventually, our channel will gain traction and more people will view the in-depth daily space weather videos. Why? Because they're the best space weather videos on the internet. We show the most in-depth data dives. We show the best imagery of the sun that anybody's showing, especially on a daily basis. So congratulations on realizing the channel exists. Here is the Earth geospace for the past 4 hours. And we're seeing quite a low pressure environment. The scale shown here is nanopascals magnetohydrodynamic pressure over the past 4 hours out to about 12 Earth diameters. It's based on the Space Weather Modeling Framework, and if you want to read about that, click on details, you'll find a link to it. You can see all of the variables used to create this model. Low pressure environment at the moment, it's a weak solar wind. Next, ground magnetic perturbations, we're looking at changes to Earth's B field, known as geospace delta B. Over the past 4 hours, the scale here is in nanotesla magnetic flux density. It's from the ground level. It's good at showing you where auroras are most likely to be seen. Also the most likely spots for pipeline, rail line, and power line induction. The KP index, a measurement of global geomagnetism, is at 2. That's your planetary K index. Quite calm conditions over the past 3 days, and no storms or geomagnetic unrest in the forecast. Radio flux now at 130 solar flux units. Let's go to the real-time solar wind. We did see an interesting signal shift happen here. At the moment, we're getting data from ACE and Discover, as you can see up here. And shout out to Sugas Shenanigans for citing that sudden signal change on Twitter. We appreciate the attention to detail and the use of additional resources. Anyway, current conditions are just under 500 kilometers per second for the solar wind velocity at 497. Solar wind density quite diffuse here at 2.46 protons per cubic centimeter. That's a very diffuse yet somewhat fast solar wind at the moment. Next, we'll look at the heliospheric current sheet. The plasma coming out of the sun is oriented to one pole or the other. Earth remains in a south pole current sheet, confounding any forecasts. Looks like we may get some activity about to rise in the northeast. Or perhaps Sunspot 3006 is weakening quickly, but in any case, one or the other is going to happen, folks. My money is on a big sunspot rising in the northeast or forming in the northeast. It's based on that magnetic data right there and not looking at stereo A or anything like that. Next, your GOES magnetometer readings here over the past 3 days. That's from the GOES 16 and 17. For you new viewers, the M's and N's stand for midnight and noon local time. We're pointing at the GOES 16 there, the red numbers. Midnight and noon local time for the geosynchronous near equatorial satellite orbits. Next, the line of sight ecliptic plane field plot. Again, I think there's some activity about to rise or form in the northeast, so let's keep an eye on that. And when I say eye on, well, pardon the pun. Next, coronal holes. And we're seeing a bit of a coronal hole drought happen here now. So we're seeing a lull in coronal hole activity. Not very well-defined coronal holes at the moment. This imagery also shows the sun's B field in blue. And here's the coronal hole view from the SDO. 193 angstroms is a great wavelength. Again, pretty undefined coronal holes here, not very well defined. The plasma is rather homogeneous. You can see sort of a dark region right here. There are a bunch of filaments on the earthly portion of the solar disk also. Don't be surprised to see coronal mass ejections. At the moment, the CME scenario is pretty calm. Let's move on to sunspots. And here's what's going on with sunspots. Sunspot 3004 has gained complexity and size. over the past 24 hours. It's consolidated. It's leading Umbra a little bit. Likelihood of solar flares pretty high here. It is a beta gamma class sunspot. 3006 finally got a name. It is also beta gamma class. It's already produced an X class and a few M class flares. 3004 has produced some M class flares also. We'll get to flaring in a moment. First, some imagery of the sunspot scenario. And let's take a close-up here of the southern hemisphere since it's where the action's at. Great view there of 3004 and 3006. Some other decent-sized sunspots there that are the size of the Earth or bigger. We've got some additional spectacular imagery. First, you're all invited to answer our poll on our community posts, because we want to know why you think space is getting weirder, not less weird, and why do you think legit astronomy is looking more and more like astrology moving forward. We've got only 8 votes here on our community posts. youtube.com/smashomash. Click on community. You'll find this post. It's only a day old. And yeah, a lot of people think it's because everything's electric. We'll share our opinions on that. We've also got a poll on Twitter. So join us on Twitter, twitter.com/smashomash. Scroll down to April 30th. You've got another day left to answer this poll, because we're interested in what you think about whether Twitter is the same or whether Twitter is fixed. Now, I think you're pretty spaced out if you think Twitter's fixed, because, well, I don't think Twitter's fixed, but I want to know what you think. And so does Smash staff, so let us know on our Twitter poll. It was from April 30th. Only one day left in the Twitter poll. Today's featured product is Universum Liberate. Yes. Notice there are no masks with the Universum Liberate motto of the Galactic Federation Special Forces on it, because we would prefer for you to be free. If you want to wear a mask, feel free, but if you're in public with a mask on, you look sickly, in my opinion. If you're sick, stay home, please. But in any case, Universum Liberate, because if I could wave my magic wand, I would set everybody free. So pick up some merch. Give Smash staff a raise. You can find links at the homepage as well as below the video. We just reached 700 subscribers on BitChute. We've been putting up our meteorology segments over there. Perhaps we'll put up a special video today on BitChute. Who knows? Go check bitchute.com/smashomash. We've already streamed once by the time we recorded this video, and twice by the time you've seen it on YouTube. Twitch.tv/smashomash. We did an extended stream for nearly 8 hours yesterday on our Twitch channel. It's just a fantastic live streaming platform. If you're a larger channel, please host our content. Recently reaching 150 followers there on Twitch. I don't know if it's a milestone. Also, give Smash staff a raise by becoming a member of the Smash team. Who knows? If you'd like additional content, join at the gold or silver level. We put up some exclusive posts yesterday for gold, gold only, gold and silver, etc. There's also a bronze level where you can comment and see some of the posts. If you want to see all of our videos in one convenient location, just head to smashomash.com/smashteam and click posts, as all of our videos do not appear on YouTube. Next, visit the homepage and welcome to the Neo Renaissance. Smash staff is bringing back our Patreon, and we're going to put up a credit crawl pretty soon for the people who are contributing financially to our cause. You can also find links to our social media like Instagram, our permanent Discord invite link, and so on. If you want to send me an instant message, do it through Discord. It's just spectacular. And yeah, once again, welcome to the Neo Renaissance. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. You can find links to the merch and the Smash team there on the homepage at smashomash.com. And let's head back to space. Space, a frontier. These are the voyages of the Earth's proton flux, which is flatlined here over the past 3 days, and quite a long time there. And we've seen the X-ray profile come back to sort of a sea-level baseline here. I mean, we're at basically a sea-level ongoing X-ray output of the closest star. A couple M-class flares here in the past 24 hours from sunspot 3004 mainly. That's this one right here. Here's our 131 angstroms video of that. You can see some M-class flares. Also, it looks like an M-class flare came out of 3006 as well. Anyway, that's the last 24 hours of solar activity in one of the good wavelengths to view flares, 131 angstroms. Here's a close-up of the southern hemisphere and the house favorite, 171 angstroms. Just spectacular imagery there. And a little bit of growth from Sunspot 3004. Here's a star chart. If you're up before dawn, you may see this lovely planetary pileup. Saturn, Mars, Jupiter, and Venus all rising ahead of the Sun. Our star chart also includes the ecliptic, which is this yellow line, the path the Sun will take across the sky, as well as the blue line here. That's the galactic plane. Here's a solar system forecast. We've got a crescent waxing. Let's see where things will be in a week. As where things will be in a week, we will have a gibbous waxing by the 12th of May. And let's show some coronagraphs. By the way, if you're wondering where the Stereo A imagery is, it still is there. You can view it on the Stereo A website. You can download the videos in MPEG format. The data is still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. It just doesn't exist on the Integrated Space Weather Analysis Center. So what we're doing is we're showing the coronagraphs here from L1, the Lagrangian gravitational equilibrium point, about 1 million miles. About 1/93rd of the way from Earth to the Sun. It's the Soho-Lascaux C2 and C3. So we are expecting to see coronal mass ejections around the earthly zone. At the moment, things are pretty chill. We did see a CME there, expected to miss Earth to the southeast, as you can see there on the Lascaux C2. Could be some ejecta headed Earth's way. Doesn't look like a major strike in any case. If it will show a signal at all, we're not exactly sure. It's part of the excitement of space weather. Sometimes you must use deductive reasoning to figure out what is going on. It would be helpful if the Integrated Space Weather Analysis Center would update its Stereo A imagery, but until then, that's what we're showing. Welcome to space. Once again, congratulations on realizing the channel exists. Take a moment to press like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Thanks for tuning in to the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. May that solar wind be at your back as I sign off.